end.
DC Universe exhibit.
Nathan Fillion joins the MCU.
Lionhead Studios closing. Perfect.
All this and more coming up on the East Coast Geek Podcast. Welcome to episode 66 of the East Coast Geek Podcast for Friday, April 29th, 2016, where we try to bring you the latest news on comics, movies, and gaming without us dying. I'm your host, Jeremy, and with me, as always, is Opu. How you doing, buddy, other than that cough?
Well, I'm not dying. That was just a coffee.
Coffee cough? A coffee cough?
A coffee. Get it? See, my mug is a question block.
You should be a comedian.
I should be a comedian. I'm doing pretty good. I heard. Well, first of all, let me clarify. I messed up last week, and I knew I was messing up, but I was trying to rush through everything. I mixed up Ultraman and Ultra Boy. Ultra Boy is a character from the Legion of Superheroes who had all of Superman's powers, but he could only use one at a time. Ultraman is an evil version of Superman from an alternate universe. And I think I don't remember which one, but one of them, one of the alternate Supermans actually had to snort kryptonite to use his superpowers.
I gotcha.
Okay, so now that that's clarified, I was doing some TV trope walks this earlier today actually, or last night, I forget which, and I found out, and I don't know if we've talked about this on the show because otherwise I remembered that one of my favorite mangas is finally returning after a 10-year hiatus. Beat the Vandal Buster is returning. The artist / writer, whatever, got very sick, or injured. I'm not sure what the details are, and so he had to take he quit the manga.
Oh, okay.
And so we thought it was never going to get continued. So I quit buying them. I didn't even catch up to where they had been finished in the translations because I didn't want to get that emotionally involved in the characters and never know the ending. And so but now I can pick it back up. If you don't know, Beat the Vandal Buster is basically a RPG in the real world, basically. There's monsters, there's like a demon world, the Vandals, and humans that are busters, and they fight against them. The humans, once they get strong enough, they can level up, where they get like little scars, they get branded.
Oh, okay.
And it's like in, kind of like the etch marks you do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dash or whatever, but it's across their neck right here, and they kind of do it like fancy. While the Vandals, they have their own way of leveling up, where they get special type of orbs put in their arm and little tattoos around it.
I got you.
So the main character Beat had this special ability where he could stay up for 3 days and 3 nights, but the moment that 72-hour limit hit, he immediately passed out.
Oh no.
So he could work basically at 100% for 72 hours, but once he hits number 73, he drop.
I smell a plot device.
Oh, just a bit, huh? And he also had the ability to summon 5 super weapons, as opposed to the 1 or 2 that most busters use. They're called like Sagai.
So not only is he a hero, but he's a standout.
Yeah. There's a plot reason he's able to do that. As opposed to your normal character. So, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It did some twists from the normal shonen heroes who usually they don't care about love or anything. He actually had a childhood friend that he was wanting to marry when he became, I don't know, old enough, worthy of her or whatever, and she kept denying that, that they would get married.
I got you.
But at the same time, she traveled around with him, and they were really good allies. And there's magic and all kinds of there's like level 1 fireballs and lightning bolts and all that kind of stuff. So pretty cool.
I got you. That sounds cool. I took some of your advice last week, and I watched that Cavalry of the Iron Fortress. I spelled that right?
Close enough. I
missed an A.
I think there's an A.
Yeah.
No, that's an E, and then past the N, I think that would be an A. So Cabanari.
Yeah. Whatever. You get the picture. I said it right. I said your words. I said it. Yeah.
Whatever. You said it right.
Whatever. Yeah. So very good. I really liked it. And you know, I the more and more I do it, the more I'm realizing that sitting there and actually letting them talk instead of listening to a dubbed version is actually more enjoyable. It's
you actually have to focus on it a little more than letting it play in the background.
Yeah, but it was really neat though.
Yeah,
they had some great ideas there. Really weird the whole what seemed to be an autoerotic asphyxiation at the end of that first episode.
Yeah, I was wondering where they were
edgy.
going to go with that because, but man, that looked rough, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Really, really great effects though, the way they drew it out and everything. So
yeah, not only that, but they were really good at like the skin coloring. You know, they actually have tones as opposed to one flat color. I like that.
Yeah, it was neat. Made me want to go back and start catching up on One Punch Man.
Oh yeah, you got to finish that, man. That solid animation there.
But this one is top notch too. Holy crap.
Yeah, extremely high quality animation in this one.
Plus, cue the innocent looking death machine.
Oh yeah, dude, she only gets better. Wait till you see. Okay, there's currently 3 episodes out. We just watched the newest episode yesterday.
Yeah, see, I didn't. I think I started the second one, but haven't finished it. So,
wait till you see her like
good Lord.
in serious action.
It's really good though. Really good story design too. So, I had very terrifying for that populace. You know, you get that sense that they are absolutely terrified by these things.
Yeah, and unlike like Attack on Titan, where they know they know the weakness and they have a dangerous way of beating it. These people don't really.
Yeah.
Yet they have a couple of ways to do it. Again, extremely dangerous, but they don't have one established solid way. That's what the main character's trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And I do like that he's actually more of a thinker than most hot-headed heroes that just use brute strength. He's actually very inventive.
Well, and I thought that was a really creative angle too, is to make him want to be the hero. You know.
Yeah.
That's that he already wants to be the hero. Now he's trying to figure out how he actually can be the hero instead of stumbling through it. He's applying science to it.
Yeah. That was really neat. Definitely check out episode 2 though. Episode 3 kind of ended on a cliffhanger, not to ruin anything for you, but I really can't wait for that next episode.
Yeah,
and you know what? You got to catch up on JoJo. You got to start JoJo, man. You got to start JoJo.
Yeah, I'll get to it. You got me this far on this one, so we'll see.
Yeah. It's a good time to get into this one because, like I said, there's only 3 episodes out, so it's pretty quick to know if you like it or don't like it. You'll love the art. JoJo is a little different. They're almost on their 50th episode, but I like how everything changes throughout. I'm sorry, I'm getting back on JoJo, but I've got
no, that's fine.
Quick.
That's fine.
It's like each main character they contrast each other, you know, and I find that really interesting how they've done that.
Yeah.
So,
other than that, that show's gonna be good. I can't wait for the next one. I'll catch up, and then I'm sure I'll be at the same point you are, where I'm just waiting every week. I kind of like I've been enjoying shows more when I can just watch in bulk, but you know, like this and the first few episodes of One Punch Man I watched were kind of like, yeah, okay, I could see myself sitting here waiting for the next episode. But I actually started back on Fallout 4 last night.
Did you start all over again? Or?
No, I just picked up. This is the first time I've ever done this with a game like this. I've been gone for a while, and then I come back, and I usually just start over. But I'd started over like twice before, so I just picked up where I was at, and what did I do? I helped out Dance for the first time.
Oh,
that was kind of interesting. I died the first time doing that too, because I kind of just ran in there not thinking that there was going to be more than just the one wave.
I'm glad. Well, here's the thing. I didn't die against the waves. I died against when you push that button. I didn't realize it released like a massive electrical pulse in there.
Oh, there's a button that does that?
Yeah, that kills them all or something, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, you're supposed to steal you and Dance in the room.
Oh, no. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about, that's later. I'm talking about the very first mission, or the very first time you run into Dance in front of the police station.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There's the zombies, the freaking, What are they called again?
The ghouls?
The ghouls. Yeah, the ghouls. And they're attacking. You're talking about the synths under the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I locked dance in the room. I was like, oh, let me push this button before I push the big one that looks like an ignition. But yeah, I did that, and then I assaulted. I helped another settlement. This is like the third one now. The one that's right near the outskirts of the Cambridge area. You had to go to that. I think it was like a VFW style hall or something. It had super mutants in it.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Died twice doing that with Deadeye, big club or cleaver or whatever. Mm-hmm. Died twice doing that because there was a legendary mixed in with all those, and he was wrecking me. I ended up getting a little smarter, and the dog was worthless. So, but otherwise,
I don't use dog that much.
It was a lot of fun. Well, I tell you what, more and more I play, I need to get the DLCs for it. One of our mutual friends has been rocking around his one of his robots that he created with the first DLC. So.
Yeah, I gotta grab the DLCs too. I jumped on it for a few days last week, but
yeah.
Then Stardew Valley grabbed me.
Oh my god!
I tried out Skullgirls, a game from a few years ago. It's a fighting game.
Oh, okay.
And it's gorgeous. It's an absolutely gorgeous game. But I'm not a fighter game player, so
yeah,
I hate it, but I love it at the same time. Because it's just, the concept is just too good. The animations are too well done. And it's an interesting twist because it's like 99% female characters as opposed to, 99% males and stuff. So,
right. Yeah. Stardew Valley, has had its hooks in me too. I'm trying to scale back my Rainbow Six time, so I'm going to start streaming Fallout and probably Stardew Valley at a certain point.
I'd love to stream some Stardew Valley. I'd have to start a new save because I'm almost at the end of my first year.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I'm thinking about too. And I rocked it through the spring and came out on top, but now through the summer I've made it down to I think 65 in the mines. I'm sitting on 15 grand and still have some crops that haven't matured yet. And I'm on
oh wow,
day 15.
See, I'm raking in about 1,000 a day. But then I go and immediately spend it all on more crops, or I'm preparing for trees and stuff. I've only gotten to level 25 of the mines.
Right.
As for real quick about Fallout 4, I quit doing the settlement missions when the guy Preston said, "Hey, I got a new mission for you," and he pointed me to the character. And the character was like, "Yeah, raiders have been stealing our crops." And he was a character in my main settlement, Sanctuary or whatever.
Oh.
And I was like, how are raiders... I've got a dozen turrets around this place. Extremely heavily armed.
Literally the Fort Knox of settlements.
Yes, I've got Strong, Dog, Piper. Most of my characters, my secondary characters are there. There's no way anybody is setting foot here unless we want them to. So after that, I did that mission and I just quit it. I said, no, I'm not doing that anymore.
So a couple of the guys at work are asking for a shout out. So hey, Caleb, Robbie, and Christopher. I'll see you in a bit. All right,
we only say hey if you guys are watching and you comment.
Apparently they are.
And you share. I'm not on the YouTube thing, so I can't.
You're demanding. I got you.
I am making demands. I'm holding your names for ransom now.
So I have this thing here on the special announcement.
Yeah.
My wife was nice enough to allow me to order the HTC Vive.
Oh no!
So I will have one in June, and I will start streaming the crap out of that. So.
Oh my goodness! I've got to save up then. Dang.
Yeah. You'll have to come over and check it out first. I hear they're winning the battle right now. Rift's been hitting some hitches. So.
Well, I know that Markiplier won the. I mean, if you don't know his name, then you're definitely not watching us. But But he's been streaming the crap out of that. I think it's the Vive, too.
I think the big thing that sold it was that video you shared of that girl playing that Night Haven game, the zombies. Yeah. But there's a lot of other applications that I'll use it for especially the solar system ones. I think those would be neat for my son. So, but then Elite Dangerous uses it as well, and one of my friends says it's amazing on it. So,
I would like to try it on Elite Dangerous.
Yeah. All right, well let's go ahead and get into the news so we can get
Yep, a
going
lot of
here.
news to do.
The first one here, the excitement is over because it's finally been announced and we don't have to worry about
Well,
it
the
anymore.
excitement's building even more now.
Well, I mean, the
Yeah.
anticipation. My bad, not excitement, anticipation. The
Patient.
Punisher TV series officially picked up by Netflix,
Yeah, this just happened today.
which
Like,
they
this
always wait
morning.
till Friday for these announcements.
I know.
Let's see. John Bernthal will reprise his role as Frank Castle. Thank God. He did an excellent job in the second season of Daredevil as Castle. So, writer and executive producer Stephen Lightfoot from Hannibal and Casualty will serve as showrunner. The Punisher will continue to follow Castle, obviously, as he brings lethal justice to Hell's Kitchen. This will be the 6th Marvel series to find its home on Netflix, following Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and the crossover miniseries The Defenders. Any chance that he'll appear in that?
Potentially, I mean, he's capable of going hand to hand with Daredevil. I mean, that doesn't put him anywhere on the other three's level.
Yeah, and I'm kind of disappointed because we didn't talk about it, but Charlie Cox came out and said that Daredevil will not be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That kind of sucks, but
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it harder for you to go from TV to movies and then come back to TV again.
Yeah.
Especially the money that I'm sure he's only making as TV's Daredevil, as opposed to the big screen's Daredevil.
Well, it's probably. I think it's with Hollywood, there's a lot of unions,
Yeah.
so it's not just saying, "Hey, can you come over and appear in the movie?" It's probably easier to appear in the movie or in the show than in the movie. And then, yeah, like you're saying, because who knows how much they have to pay out and different types of things. But geez, it would be great to see a Daredevil. I'd love a Daredevil Spider-Man.
I'll have to look back at our previous episodes, but I was pretty sure that when that was announced, the show originally, that there was movie options in there.
I think so, but
maybe they're just not going to exercise them. That's all.
maybe they're worried that while he's got the pull for a TV show and he's got good numbers for a TV show, he's not going to make the pull to risk a movie yet.
Right.
But usually season 1 and season 2 are like the best seasons of a show.
Yeah.
They tend to start going downhill after a while, and hopefully they'll be able to keep it fresh with him mixing it up with the other heroes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. Yeah, I can see it, but I mean, it would be nice,
It'd be nice to him at least be acknowledged. Like in the Civil War they showed screens of like security camera footage of him beating people up or something.
Yeah, that'd be great too.
It doesn't have. No. We're not asking for him to be side by side by Captain America. That would be perfect. We would just like the cinematic universe to acknowledge these other heroes.
So speaking of Captain America, I've just wanted to look just to see. Right now, critic rating 94%. I was listening to another show and they were talking about it, trying to come up with the over-under. I think they finally decided at 95% over-under, which leaves a very small margin for over. Yeah. But, man, it's not even... You're talking, you're going to get reviews until, I'm trying to look at the dates here, probably Wednesday of next week. So there's still a chance that this can go up. Only 5 critics have dropped it out of the 82 that have registered their ratings so far. He said it's probably gonna make Batman versus Superman look like a shitty college movie.
I was doing some paperwork earlier this week, you know why. But and even the guy that was alongside that I had never met before, I made like a passing joke about Superman or Batman or something, and he was like, "That movie sucked." It was like 5 movies crammed into one. I was like, "Well, it's more like they started 5 different movies and got bored halfway through each one." He's like, "Exactly."
Yeah. They're trying to. They're taking the easy way out. They're trying to cram too much into too little time. Mm-hmm. They want the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. I'm not going to rehash that again.
Yeah, we've done that 1,000 times. So. And we're about to don't worry, we're about to rehash it now, so go ahead
Yeah.
and save it.
Yeah, go for it.
We'll go ahead and move on to this. Warner Brothers Studios announces DC Universe The Exhibit. Initially, I was reading somewhere where it was called DC Universe The Universe Exhibit or something, which is extremely redundant because it's all, or it was DC Comics Universe, The Universe, or something like that, which would have made it technically Detective Comics Universe, The Universe Exhibit, or something weird like that.
Jeez.
Anyway, so now fans of the DC Universe can get it. Now, fans of the Universe, the movie universe, can now get a close-up look at the sets and items from Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and the upcoming Suicide Squad film.
Hey, you noticed they didn't have any from Man of Steel because they were all destroyed.
No, well, they just reused them for Dawn of Justice.
Okay. Well, yeah, they had that first
both
scene.
will be on display in a new attraction called DC Universe The Exhibit, which will be located on the Warner Brothers lot and is part of the Warner Brothers Studio Tour Hollywood Tour, I thought it was, but whatever. The new exhibit will give fans a chance to see Harley Quinn's Belle Rev Cell, or is it Belle Reve? Cell from Suicide Squad, and allow them to take a quick selfie inside if they choose. For Batman vs. Superman fans, or Batman v Superman, it will include an interactive kryptonite experience where you will have to put on gloves to get your hands on Superman's Achilles heel.
Oh my god.
After that, fans can head over and use the voice modulator to throw out their best Batman imitation. Of course, the exhibit will also feature numerous costumes and props from the films as well. Really feels like they put the cart before the horse on this one. They have 3 films out, and they're using 2 of them to make an exhibit. I don't know what the proper definition of exhibit is. Maybe it is just a small collection of a couple of things.
Did they have Jared Leto there actually playing as the Joker?
Jared Leto locks himself inside the exhibit because he's so crazy as the Joker.
Right.
God, I'm tired of those. I don't want to, even if I wanted to see this movie, I don't want to see it just because so many articles telling us how he's so much the real Joker and he's so crazy.
As far as I've heard, there are no real actors after. Oh my god, I just drew a blank.
Heath Ledger?
No, the guy that played. Was it Whiplash in Iron Man 2?
Oh,
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, according to him, there's no real actors anymore past him, so we'll give him that benefit, especially in this case.
My coffee's already cold. Yay!
Hey, you need one of those warmers. I know what to get you for Christmas.
I want one so bad.
Yeah, awesome. Sure.
Now, here's the thing. I like the idea behind this. I just don't think it's enough yet. And maybe it's enough for a tour lot because they're hitting so many other places.
This would be like Marvel doing this after the first Iron Man movie, which was.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. To be fair, that would be kind of cool to see the armory. But
I'm trying to remember which one came first, Iron Man or the new Hulk movie.
The Incredible Hulk movie?
Yeah.
Which one came first? You mean chronologically?
Yeah, because that one's technically still part of the MCU, even though it's a different actor now.
I think it happened at the same time as Iron Man, technically.
Well, that's what I'm trying to remember, but all right, go ahead.
Because it happened, it's either at the same time as Iron Man or it happened just after Iron Man, because in Iron Man 2 is where they had the footage from the Hulk movie.
Right.
So, I mean, that's all I've really got for this.
Yep.
Maybe for a Hollywood tour type of thing. That's enough, just two areas. But I don't know. It's just
Iron Man released on May 2nd, 2008, and Incredible Hulk June 13th, 2008.
Yeah, but I thought you were talking about like within the Marvel universe.
No, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the listing. This is when they were released.
Yeah, that's when the movies were released. But
yeah,
I'm talking about because
I got you. I was just trying to figure out because I thought right after Iron Man. Which I was mistaken because that wasn't the second movie; that was the first. Yeah. That's what I was saying. That'd be like them making a museum exhibit after the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, maybe if they had the Batcave in this thing, that would be cool, or even the Fortress of Solitude. But I don't know. I don't think he's really got the Fortress of Solitude yet in the films, or if he does, it's boring. It's not as cool as like the one from the animated series or even from the pre-Crisis Superman. That was a cool one.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I said, it might be enough for a Hollywood tour, but whatever. I'm not impressed with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move into the movies since we've already been talking about it, but actually move into the movies. Now, this is one that I can get behind. I was excited about this when I heard it, and I knew instantly that it needed to go in there. But like I said right in the beginning, Nathan Fillion's joining the MCU and as Wonder Man.
Yeah, I think this is more than a rumor. I think this is confirmed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is confirmed. So,
I don't know if I saw it or whatever as confirmed, but we'll take it as confirmed. And if it changes, we'll let you know. So images have appeared, supposedly of the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 sets, showing a theater playing Simon Williams films. The Avenger, Simon Williams, also known as Wonder Man, was, among other things, an actor in the comics. And in fact, his most famous role is Archon, a rift of Conan. And if you can scroll through some of those pictures,
there we go.
The fourth one is Archon.
Yep.
So if you look at the others, they are parodies of known films. Like they had The Toxic Janitor, which is a parody of The Toxic Avenger.
Yep.
So in the comics, Wonder Man first appearance is Avengers 9. That's 1964. I was thinking the 70s. Jeez. Well, he's got a long, complicated history with the Avengers. I was going to try to put more on here, but it would take an all show to explain him. So he was initially a scientist that inherited a company that he was not prepared to run and was tricked into illegal activities by his brother, who eventually became the Grim Reaper. Williams was eventually caught and blamed his failures on Iron Man. Afterwards, Simon was utilized as a weapon against the Avengers. He was granted incredible powers and was used to befriend the Avengers and lure them into a trap. However, he became true friends with them and saved his friends, seemingly at the cost of his life. And here's where it starts to get crazy. His brainwaves were saved and used for the android Vision.
So another Vision origin story, huh?
Yeah, so it's also with the Vision character. So, of course, he was eventually brought back to life by the Living Laser, I believe, and accepted fully into the Avengers. His life was way too long to get into details. There was like a kind of a love triangle between him, Scarlet Witch, and Vision, and other things back and forth. But currently, I believe he's gone from being a flesh and blood superhero to fully ionic powered, as in he is a energy being that just takes the form of a man.
Excellent.
And he had a cool aspect where after his death, he actually was afraid to die, so he'd hold back and fights a lot. Which I guess characters, since death is basically, just an in and out type of thing nowadays, nobody cares anymore. But that's pretty cool that he had such a traumatic incident and actually affected the character for a while. So he was granted superhuman strength due to chemical and radiation treatments with ionic energy by Baron Zemo, giving him superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, agility, and reflexes. And while his initial aim was using ionic treatments to make Wonder Man at least the equal of any Avenger, the treatment surpassed his expectations and endowed Wonder Man with strength comparable to that of Thor. He is extremely powerful. In Avengers Children's Crusade number 3, Captain America describes Wonder Man as having Sentry level strength. If you don't know the Sentry, he was basically the physical manifestation of the Angel of Death or God or whatever, because they could never decide. Zemo's treatments also granted Wonder Man virtual invulnerability, immortality, and instantaneous reflexes. Zemo's outfit also outfitted Wonder Man with a rocket pack in his belt to achieve flight, which he no longer needs. He can now fully fly thanks to his resurrection and metamorphosis. He's capable of true flight, and since he has self-regenerating ionic energy, he no longer has to breathe, sleep, eat, or have water. And his eyes also grow bright red, so he wears sunglasses to conceal it. And if I failed to mention it, Nathan Fillion is playing him. I think Jeremy
Yeah,
mentioned that
I
earlier.
said that at the beginning.
And he's, here's the thing about him. He's got like, he's an attractive man, don't get me wrong. But he's got like the perfect face for so many characters. Like people would say, hey, I want him to play Hal Jordan. I could see Nathan as Hal Jordan. Hey, he should play Booster Gold. I could see him as Booster Gold. Hey, I want to see him play Simon Williams. I could totally see him playing Simon Williams. He's just, some characters, they just look too much, or some actors look just like, which we're actually going to go into in just a moment. So I don't know if they kind of look that part, but he is so good that he can look like almost any heroic male character.
Even just this picture that I've left up the original picture, the very first one. Even with the whole butt chin and everything, he looks like the character.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real easy fit for him, and obviously they're going to muscle him up a little bit.
Well, he
just
really needs to work out because he's already got that athletic build. We've seen it.
He's gotten comfortable on Castle, so.
Yeah,
true.
He's definitely going to have to get the Captain Hammer form.
They just announced last week or earlier this week that Stana Katic's leaving the cast of Castle, his partner and wife in the show. Oh, she's done after this season, or
they're at like season 9, aren't they?
I don't know. It's something like that.
Yeah, I think Castle's pretty much run its course now.
Yeah. He needs something else, and I'm glad it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, he listen. If Marvel didn't grab him up, DC sure as hell should have. But again, he's too much of a fun guy, I think, for DC right now.
You call him a mushroom? Fun guy. Hey, do you think that one? What do you think his origin story is going to be? I mean, do you think he's going to, because he's appearing in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and not an Avengers movie or a side movie for one of the other characters? Do you think it's going to be he's already ascended to that ionic power, or do you think he's going to be one of those where he's one of those like aliens, not of Earth? You know what I mean?
I think they'll make him another human that's been abducted.
Oh, okay, that'll work too.
And then
experimented on.
he could have gotten the ionic treatments in somewhere else in the galaxy and gotten his powers, because he's powerful enough. Of course, the Marvel movies toned down their powers considerably.
Yeah.
Short of maybe the Hulk, and Captain America kind of got a bit of a power boost fighting Ultron because they weakened him so much in the first Avengers.
Yeah.
So
do you think
I don't know. But the thing is, he would be such a good character to play off Chris Pratt. Not to mention that if say he got abducted later than Star-Lord did, he could be making like 80s and 90s references as opposed to Chris Pratt, who was making 70s and early 80s references.
Yeah.
So then they could have, while they get along. I mean, or you could make them not get along, whatever. I don't know if they're going to give him his full power set or not.
Do you think he's worthy of his own movie, or do you think he's always just going to be an ensemble character?
Wonder Man, he could be his own movie. I don't think it would be. Depends where they put him at in the power level type thing. Maybe if they haven't established that he can regenerate in this movie, then if they make him have a heroic sacrifice at the end of his own movie, and him see, that's the thing when you're dealing with that level of power and then practical immortality, where he has been blown up several times in the comics,
right?
And he just reforms. Sometimes it takes him longer than most others.
Well, see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Zondu's never getting his own freaking movie. Not gonna happen.
Who?
The blue guy, freaking played by Michael Rooker, the one that abducted.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt's.
Well, he doesn't need his own movie.
That's what I'm saying. That's an ensemble class character. Yeah. Whereas that's why I was asking, is Wonder Man worthy of his own movie or not? Because I think that'd be neat.
Yeah,
I really don't mind Nathan Fillion, and since he's not getting the Nathan Drake part, thanks a lot, freaking Mark Wahlberg, douche.
He should have gotten that Nathan Drake part.
Yeah, it's gonna be dumb.
They just, I don't know. He could totally. I think he could swing his own movie as long as it's one like it's a Deadpool or Guardians of the Galaxy type movie.
Yeah,
Where it kind of makes fun of itself.
I got you.
Um, I don't know.
All right.
He's always been. He's never. I think he's only had a couple of solo comics before. So
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move to the next thing here. If you want to start this one.
yeah, I started last one. You can start this one.
Oh, okay. All right. Alicia Vikander has been cast as Lara Croft, and that's official. Alicia Vikander has been cast as repeated in an upcoming Tomb Raider reboot. Vikander is best known for a role as the artificially intelligent being in Ex Machina.
Did you see that?
I have not watched it yet. It's on my list of things to watch because it's on Amazon Prime. So
Yeah, for free. I watched it the other day.
are you in love with her?
I mean, it's.
Do you think she'll do all right?
It was all right. It was an interesting concept, but it's one of those when I thought about it, I'm like, wait a second,
Yeah.
So
She is also known for her roles in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., The Danish Girl, and A Royal Affair. She'll also be appearing alongside Matt Damon in Jason Bourne later this year. Is that the guy's name? That is an awesome name. Roar Uthog.
yeah,
The Wave. Will be directing the new Tomb Raider film, which will tell. Which
tells the story of a young and untested Lara Croft fighting to survive her first
You see what
adventure.
the problem is? I know you copied and pasted this. It says which will tell.
Yeah.
Or which will tells. The freaking tense is wrong.
Yeah, I don't listen. These people that well, whatever.
Yeah,
Graham King is on board to produce.
She's Swedish. I wonder if she can pull off that British accent.
Yeah,
It's
at least Daisy Ridley or whatever Ridley
Ridley.
wasn't she British?
I don't know. I think she.
I thought
is.
she was British.
I could look really quick, but yeah, I can see your concern. I mean, obviously she has to, right?
Yeah, I mean, why didn't they?
Yeah, she's English.
I'm sure there's attractive British actresses out there that can. Well, okay. Lara Croft attractive. Is that okay to say?
I guess.
I don't know. It's just.
I mean,
this is
it depends on how you define Lara Croft. I mean, obviously
it's
you
a role
define
it's a very
hers
specific character.
but you define Lara Croft with like double D's, man.
No,
that's exactly where you're
D's.
at. That's
I
exactly what
described
you're
her
saying.
as well endowed and athletic with brunette hair. Hair can be dyed,
Right.
but the last few games, for the most part, haven't been fan servicey. If you think that's a bad thing or a good thing,
Right.
or whatever. So I mean, there's that. I liked her in Ex Machina for the most part. She did pretty good at her job.
All CGI of it.
All CGI of it, yeah. But I don't know. It depends if this is going to be an all new story or if they're going to be basing it off the games. How would you want it done? I would like to see it based off the games.
The new series, yes. The new series of games, I would love to see it based on that. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the original series. The new series, the new Tomb Raider title from what? 4
The Rise
years
of the
ago.
Tomb Raider and whatever. What was the first one?
It was just called Tomb Raider.
Okay.
So
it was the second one just called Tomb Raider. Third one just called Tomb Raider.
yeah, I think that she would probably fit that well too. So as pictured, this one here on the left is the character from the game. So
Yeah.
I think she'd fit it well from the new series. So
Well, I still say if they should have got her voice actress or character model person.
yeah.
But she's too old, apparently. Apparently, 30's too old
And here comes
to be gorgeous.
and
I'm
here
gorgeous
comes-
and I'm 30.
Here comes Nathan Fillion in in the MCU. All right, go ahead and take the next one.
Okay, this one
sounds
is
cool.
weird. Okay, I've never heard of this movie. I don't think I've heard of this movie. But Jamie Foxx is to star in the Jim Henson's company's. I don't even know if that's the right name for the company. I think it's Jim Henson Company. Or whatever. The Happy Time Murders. This is basically Who Framed Roger Rabbit from what I'm reading with Muppets. And
yeah.
that sounds actually awesome. You see that picture?
Yeah, it's pretty violent.
Yes. Okay, so Jamie Foxx is in negotiations to star in the Jim Henson Company's upcoming film, The Happy Time Murders. The movie is described as a raunchous,
Precocious.
R-rated comedy that will combine live action characters with puppets, whatever. The project is set to be directed by Brian Henson, who is the son of Jim Henson. He was on the Creature show that Sci-Fi had, where
Yeah.
you designed absolutely epic
Oh,
show.
yeah, that show was awesome.
Real quick though, I would, and I found this funny about that show, how other Face Off or whatever, the people that did the makeup would kind of argue with the judges. It
Right.
seemed like whenever I watched that show, nobody tried to argue with him, and I could
Well,
I would be the same way, you know.
he is
I mean,
puppet
this
royalty.
guy grew up with them his entire life. He knows these things better than anybody.
Yeah.
His father reinvented puppets, you know. So anyway, so that's beside the point. And the story follows puppet stars in an iconic TV show, The Happy Time Game, who are some of the biggest celebrities around. But off camera, the family-friendly cast leads the kind of lives that would make a tabloid writer blush. When the Happy Time Gang stars begin to be mysteriously murdered, two mismatched detectives, one a type A, take no prisoners human with a secret, and the other a crass, hard-drinking puppet with a connection to one of the victims, must put aside their differences to stop the killings and catch the culprit, all while trying to resist the temptation to murder each other. That sounds absolutely awesome. And if we get the funny Jamie Foxx in there, you know the Jamie Foxx I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
MF Jones. You
Yes.
seen Horrible Bosses? That was great.
oh yes.
That character, that was what I remember of Jamie Foxx. Not some of the other crap he's done lately.
Wasn't he on? He was on In Living Color.
Yeah.
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 If we get In Living Color Jamie Foxx, this movie's gonna be. You know what? The other guy I would like, I can't remember his name. He was also on In Living Color. He David something. I can't remember his name right now. Gosh, I wish I've seen him in more stuff. He was in Blank Man with Damon Wayans.
Oh, David Allen Greer.
Yes.
Yeah.
David Allen Greer.
Yeah.
Love
He-
that guy.
he-
I don't. Where did he go? He disappeared.
My favorite memory of him was in the Army now when he played
Oh, yeah.
the dentist who was part-time Army. That was funny.
He's absolutely great. Okay, I forgot we had more story here. Deadline says Fox will play Detective Edwards, and they offer additional details on the character, saying Edwards is an LAPD cop who must reteam with his former partner Phil, a drinking and philanderer,
Philanderer.
who is not keen on Edwards' good cop persona. Together, they must solve the murders, all while bumping heads on each other's methods. The screenplay is from Todd Berger, D. Robertson, and Eric and John Hober, who worked on Red and Red 2, which
really
were
good movies.
pretty good movies. I like the first one. I haven't seen the second one. The Happy Time Murders. I mean, listen, if it reminds me in a good way of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, A+ already, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually pumped for this movie.
Yeah, it could be good. Yeah, that would be neat, especially with the Jim. We need a pulp movie with Jim Henson's Muppets.
You know what? And here's the thing with them. He never designed them to be for kids, you know?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The original show was like an adult not late night, but evening time variety show.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
wasn't-
and the
it
first
wasn't a
one, they
kids'
had
show
them
in the
cussing
morning.
it and stuff, too.
Yeah.
They called it From Hell or something. Muppets from Hell.
Yeah.
Will you heat this up for me? I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah, that sounds cool, and I can't wait. And it's gonna be a movie, right? Do we say? Yeah, movie. Okay. Yeah,
Yes, it is a
It sounds
movie. I
like
hope it's
something
a
that
movie.
should be a TV show,
Do you want... I would totally take it as a TV show.
right? All right. The last thing we've got in this section here, the Wheel of Time is becoming a TV series. I think we heard about it before, just mentioning it just being kicked around, but now it's finally been picked up.
Did you ever read Wheel of Time?
I read. I'm looking at the covers. I think I read Eye of the World. One of the names that I used to use for my MMOs, Jerry and Racelane, came from the Wheel of Time.
Okay.
So yeah,
I never read them when I was in middle school, and We had this thing called AR. I don't know if you had it when you were a kid,
Mm-mm.
but what they would do is they would test you, see what grade level you could read at. And so, me being a bookworm all my life, I got like college level. So they were like, "We don't know what to do with you. So you just pick a book and read it." And I picked up one of the Wheel of Time books, and it had like a centaur with like wings on his arms. I was like,
Right.
"Oh no, that kind of looks weird." So I put it back. I think that was Wheel of Time. I'm not too sure. So,
I mean, and it's an offshoot of the D&D stuff.
oh really?
It's Dragonlance
See, it would have
and Wheel
probably
of
been
Time
everything I
were
love in a
like
fantasy series. I
yeah
just the cover freaked me out when I was a
yeah
kid.
the
So,
the Wheel of Time and Dragonlance are two series that were spawned of the D&D campaign style stuff.
oh, okay. Well, it is one of the bigger fantasy series, most popular fantasy series out there. Again, with like Game of Thrones, Dragonlance type of stuff. The Dragon Riders one I remember where they found not the dragons of Perth, the ones where you got an egg and a dragon bonded with you for life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so after the popularity of Game of Thrones and Walking Dead and stuff, so I'm not surprised that this one's been pulled. Here's a breakdown of what the series is. One of the most recognizable and popular fantasy series of all time, Wheel of Time is a massive epic with a sprawling cast of characters that tells the story of the quest to find the dragon reborn and stop the Dark One. Do not start the Dark One. You want to stop him.
After a long legal battle, the television adaptation of Robert Jordan hits the series. The Robert Jordan's hit fantasy series, The Wheel of Time, is moving forward.
So yeah, I think that's what we were talking about. That there was legal issues going on.
Yeah, there was big legal issues. That's why I said I think we talked about it before, but that now that it's finally moving forward, Jordan's widow and editor of the book series, Harriet McDougal, announced that the series is indeed happening in a Google Plus post.
Yeah, I guess she's probably the only person on the planet that uses Google Plus. This is probably why I've almost missed this article. She said this. Wanted to share the exciting news about the Wheel of Time. Legal issues have been resolved. The Wheel of Time will become a cutting-edge TV series. I couldn't be more pleased. Look for the official announcement coming soon from a major studio.
Oh,
Harriet.
a major studio. I wonder which one picked it up. Did they actually say?
No, they're waiting on the studio unless it's been announced within the last few hours.
Probably not.
I actually got away from my computer for once. And did stuff productive, kind of productive. So I may have missed it, but yeah, I'm excited to see what studio and what channel. I'm really hoping, because these fantasy series, it costs a pretty penny to do them well.
It doesn't look like it says. Even the article from Ars Technica from 3 hours ago doesn't say.
It'll probably
But
be
it
a
says,
week or two before
but
they
it
announce
says it makes sense for them to do this, or for whoever is doing it to do it with the success of HBO's Game of Thrones and Starz Outlander, which I've never seen. I should
I've
probably
yet to see
watch.
that as well.
But with it being a very big series, I mean, hell, they could take any of the Forgotten Realms series, like as much as it's been beat into the heads of the readers, the Drizzt series would make a good series of films too. So
Yeah. I feel bad for that writer too. He tried to end the series, and then they said, "Okay, well, we're just going to continue it with a different writer."
yeah,
So he was like, "No, I'll keep writing them."
yeah.
But
All right, well, I think that's all we got. We'll go ahead and move into the games if that's acceptable to you, sir.
that's always acceptable to me.
Excellent. All right. I went the wrong way with that volume control. I went to go reach for it real quick because I forgot that's really loud.
Well, you going to do some kind of remix with it?
I need to change it. I need to pick something else. We need to find some other.
I think you need the. Let's find the Battletoads one or something.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, Nintendo is a sort of a no-show at this year's E3.
Yeah. So it's like I think they're only going to focus on a couple of things for this year's E3, mainly the new Zelda game.
And not what we all want to see, which is the stupid NX.
Yeah. That's weird. They're getting ready to release it next year, but they're not showing it at E3.
Where's the console hype? When you release something new, you want to show it off.
Yeah,
E3
well,
is
maybe
unless they make a big showing at Gamescom in August, there's nothing else for them to put it out at. What are they gonna show it at?
Here's the thing: Nintendo's been moving away from game show like shows.
I know they've been trying to do their own thing, but
Yeah,
even their own shows aren't showing crap. That's the point. I mean, if they want to make listen, you want a large announcement for a new console. You don't want something small because, oh look, it's another Nintendo thing. People don't.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying they're just trying to do this Nintendo Direct thing, which.
But they need more publicity, not less.
And yes, they do need more publicity. And the Nintendo Direct thing would be good if they would listen to feedback from fans.
More
which they don't do.
And more banana jokes.
We'll never have any more banana jokes. Not like that. They really got to be more approachable and understanding what their fans are asking for. They need to quit being so stingy on the porting stuff from overseas. There's a lot of games people are begging for to be coming translated.
Thank God Monster Hunter Generations is coming over. That's what I wanted.
Well, that's Capcom, right?
But that's still, that was always under threat of not coming over. But lately, 4 did so awesome for Capcom.
I'm not a big fan of the Monster Hunter series. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong.
You're not good at it.
It didn't grab me. So, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes a game just does not grab you.
Yeah. No, I know.
So the Zelda game will be launching simultaneously next year on the NX and the Wii U. The NX will not replace the Wii U. I also read that the NX, they will not be selling the NX at a loss. They've been selling the Wii and the Wii U. They also sold them at a loss where they'd sell them under what it cost to produce them, and then they'd catch up at the end of the year when the sales or the games or whatever beat it.
It's called a loss leader, and Microsoft and Sony also do this. They make more money off their third party and first party titles than they do off the systems. They always do. And that's where they make up their money is in the games themselves. So.
Well, I wonder how much Microsoft and Sony would be charging if they weren't doing that, because their system's already $600.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and I question the validity of those prices anyways, because they're starting more and more. They're getting to the off the shelf equipment, and with the announcement, and this is another thing that wasn't covered in here, and I should have pulled it up because this is kind of like a E3 primer. Sony's going to be announcing the PlayStation 4.5, which is the very, very likely possibility that it's going to maybe be modular. However, it makes complications because they may be powering up the console. Either it's going to be modular or it's going to be a more powerful console. But the problem is that if they're doing that in anticipation of the release of the Sony VR, it's still going to handcuff the creators of the VR games, because they have stated clearly that if your game doesn't run at 60 frames a second on the PlayStation 4, then it's a no-go. But at the same time, they're going to release the 4.5, and they're going to be like, well, yeah, now this thing can be capable of pushing 90 frames a second. But you can't do it because you won't be able to get that kind of performance and that high graphics from the PlayStation 4, which is at the base, the base stats that the system started with. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, Microsoft announced this week that they won't be announcing a 1.5 for the Xbox, but they are going to announce a new controller and a new piece of equipment. The question is what that entails, that other piece of equipment. Whether it's going to be they've secretly been working on this VR that they're going to pop out, or some kind of interface unit for VR or something like that.
Well, they've already got that deal with Oculus.
They do
about their controllers. So I wonder if that's what they've been waiting on is, or we haven't heard anything about the HoloLens in a while.
Yeah, but
if they're talking about brand new,
they're not gonna. They've already stated the HoloLens is going to be developed on the business side first, and then go to the commercial. which is what Google Glass did backwards. They went commercial grade for consumer use, and they retracted the program and have now closed it up to business applications only. So for now,
Well, it already like Google Glass had its own problems.
yeah, no, that's that's the reason why they should have started like Microsoft is doing with the HoloLens. So,
so well, here's the thing: not only do we have that news about Nintendo, but there's apparently which I didn't pull the articles because I just thought about it just when we were about to air. But apparently there's some shakeups in leadership going on. I think they're going to adjust the way that who's in charge of what.
You talking about
I'm
Nintendo?
not too sure. I don't have all the details. I just saw it like I had a passing glance.
You talking about Nintendo or?
Yeah, Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
And that's been one of their biggest things is, which we've talked about on the show before. I believe we've talked about it on the show, where they had that, and you know, and I guess it's a Japanese thing in general, where they have the whole respect the seniors and elders thing.
Yeah.
Which we have it too in America. Don't get me wrong, but they're so afraid to speak up and say, "Hey, why don't we try this?" Or, "Hey, the consumers are asking for this." They're afraid to be that person, you know.
Right.
So that's what it feels like. Nintendo's really stagnating on things. Like there was even stories about Mario Galaxy 2, that the developers, the guys working on it, wanted to make a more story and have all the characters go through a little bit of character development, but Miyamoto nixed that.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with Nintendo. I mean, we all know that they have
those giant shoes to fill, man. I made myself instantly sad when I made that banana joke.
Yeah. I know. I was like, why did you do that?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But it's not just that, but they're not evolving as fast as it seems like they need to, because gaming especially is evolving at an incredibly rapid pace.
Yeah, I mean, look at the technology they use for Quantum Break. That thing is basically a TV show.
Which I found funny is that we remember when the PS1 first came out, we tried and like the Sega Saturn or whatever first came out, that they were really into the full motion videos.
Yeah, like
and now it's like they were like, no, we're going to just do all of our characters are in game, and now it's like circled back, be like, yeah, let's put in real live actors now.
What was the name of that freaking game? Well, that was big on. Is that what it was called? Was Sewer Shark?
What?
It was Sega CD Sewer Shark. I remember that when I was growing up, but that's how a lot of the PC stuff was at that time too. It was because of the PC that like Sega CD happened and all that, and then the Sony PlayStation eventually, because like the Wing Commander series, once I think 3 hit is when Mark Hamill got involved. Mark Hamill, the guy who played
yeah, he was the I remember that he was the main character or something.
The guy that plays Biff on Back to the Future, he was involved in it. And Malcolm McDowell, they were all involved in this live action cutscene video between the crappy looking graphic missions. Well,
there was also
by today's standards, but
you remember Night Trap, the one that really helped start the ESRB, that one in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, I understand, and it was a neat thing, but I mean now it's like Nintendo's just always behind, except on their handheld.
Yeah,
the 3DS is an amazing system. Nobody
I don't know where they put
Nobody
that.
competes with it.
Whoever's in charge of the handheld seems like they need to jump over ship. And it's only a recent thing. Nintendo used to be in the lead.
No, because I want more good handheld games that I can play while I'm away from home.
I really wish. Here's what I wish. I wish that somehow that they would make a deal with Steam and get some of the Steam games that I've got on my computer.
Oh yeah,
I love playing.
Dude,
on my handheld. I want Stardew Valley on my handheld.
Stardew Valley on the 3DS, please, because we haven't had a great Harvest Moon in a really long time. So
we haven't, and I like we've talked enough about Stardew Valley. So
All right.
yeah, so I don't know what Nintendo's doing right now. It gets me worried because I'm a longtime fan of theirs. Hopefully, they straighten shit out and things start going well. I'm hoping the NX is going to be good.
Be sure to tune in June when we will undoubtedly do another 16-hour epic of about the E3 events. So
Man, that was fun. That was fun.
that was a lot of fun. Even given our own grades compared to what the major outlets graded it. So, all right, next thing, let's talk Sega again. Go for it.
Okay, so you thought we were done with movies, but we're not. There's going to be a live action Shinobi movie. Mark Platt is going to be working on it. Here's a quote from him. We love the Shinobi games and believe that the world of ninjas has never been properly explored on screen. Okay. Did you not watch Ninja Assassin? That was
Right,
crazy.
that was basically Shinobi, right?
Yeah. We now have the opportunity to do just that. With Shinobi, we hope to make a film that honors the essence of the games and brings this fascinating world to life for moving-going audiences. Although I would love a Ninja Gaiden movie.
Right.
Let's see. We got double quotes here. So in 2014, Sega announced that the company was interested in developing adaptations for Shinobi, Altered Beast, Streets of Rage, Virtual Fighter, Rise of Nightmares, Golden Axe, and Crazy Taxi. And Shinobi is going to be the first adaptation that makes it to the big screen. It's probably going to be their experimental one because it's arguably the safest out of all of them. Like, that they don't need too insane of designs and an insane budget like Altered Beast would need. And it's got a pretty easy plot overall. For those that don't know, Shinobi told the story of Joe Musashi, a child who started out weak but eventually worked his way up to become the most skilled ninja in the Oboro clan. Armed with his trusty shuriken, throwing knives or throwing stars, whatever, he faced off against a ninja crime syndicate called Zed, who attempted to return Japan to a state of chaos in which they could thrive. Musashi was the protagonist of the first 3 games of the Shinobi series. So things like Crazy Taxi would be hilarious. It really sounds like somebody like Dwayne Johnson would be the main character of Crazy Taxi. But it would be one of those like really insane movies that would be really fun to watch.
It would literally be nothing but Race to Witch Mountain memes of him driving and then turning around like, what did you just say?
You know what? That would be. I would love that. I would love a reference to that in the Crazy Taxi movie if he was the star of it. Streets of Rage, I think, would be a good movie for them to develop as well. Rise of Nightmares is the one game on here I have not played. Golden Axe would probably be easy to develop. I really hope Rise of Nightmares would be cool because I like that name. Altered Beast, I don't know. That's a weird one.
Did you say Virtua Fighter would be alright?
Virtual Fighter, would that be a good one?
Well, I mean, they've done Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter movies. And basically...
Yeah, but were they done well?
And basically, Real Steel was a ripoff of One Must Fall. It was an old PC fighter game. You're fighting giant robots.
Real Steel was based off of...
I know, but it
the
was...
fighting robot one, where you press the button.
Yeah, I know. The Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but...
Rock'em Sock'em Robots,
But the PC version of that was this game called One Must Fall, and it was basically a guy fighting inside of a Jaeger against another robot.
So, Is
that your moonshine?
this is just water in a redneck cup.
All right. Let's go to the last thing
Real
here.
quick, no word on writer, stars, a director, or production start dates yet. So it's really moving forward. It's like they just announced it, basically.
Yeah.
Mark Platt? I don't even know. Mark Platt. I guess he's the director. I don't know. He's done Drive 1 and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Oh, he's producing it. I love Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I think it's arguably better than the comic.
Such a great movie. Those evil X's, though.
And I was not expecting much from the movie. I'll be honest with you.
You don't know what those X's were?
I knew what they were. I wasn't expecting much from that movie. I went and saw it.
I was kidding.
And I saw it sober, so I really loved it.
You really should go to Target and spend the $10 on the Steelcase Blu-ray.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim?
Yes.
It's there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had a steel case Blu-ray. We might have to go to Target. I lost my Blu-ray of Scott Pilgrim. Somebody took it.
Here, it's right here. Look.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I need that. I love that movie.
It's a nice case too, and it's all comic cells and stuff. But yeah, Blu-ray and DVD copy. But it's only like $10. They have a bunch of Steel Series steel cases for movies like that, and Jason Bourne, Shaun of the Dead, Blues Brothers, a bunch of great ones. I think Star Trek. Yeah. They're like $10. I was like, holy crap, this is great. It's a steel case.
That's totally worth $10.
Yeah, and I love that movie. All right, last thing. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Lionhead Studios is closed.
Yep, more or less officially.
You got it, or you want me?
Yep, I'll do this. Following the cancellation of its latest game last month, which we talked about, Fable Legends, Fable and Black and White and the movies developer Lionhead Studios is shutting down. Lionhead's parent company confirmed the news with Polygon today. I don't know why they're talking to them because they kind of suck. They come to us, Microsoft. We're better than them.
Polygon's the only one that cares. They must be desperate for news.
Yeah. Saying that it is working to place former Lionhead employees in different divisions of Microsoft or at outside gaming companies, which I think is cool. That's cool because it makes me feel less bad about the studio.
Well, even
it
still,
makes me feel less guilty about the studio closing because I really don't care.
And I mean, and that's not to say that they haven't had great games. Black and White was a really good game, the first one.
Now here's my thing with Black and White. I played it, of course, on the console. Not on the console, on the PC. My computer at the time. And here's my problem with computer games in general is I'm always worried that I don't have the system set up for it that can handle it. And so I'm always like, well, is this game just bad, or is my computer just too bad to play?
Yeah.
And I always had trouble playing. Like, I love the idea of Black and White, but I never had fun with it because the sigil, to try to make the spells, always screwed up for me.
Oh, okay.
So that's my thing, but it was still cool.
And like you mentioned before we started, the Fable Lost Chapters was a really, really great version of the game. However, I argue it should have been the first release.
Yeah, they should have done that the first time. Because the first one didn't have a real ending boss. It was basically they ripped the second to last boss from Ocarina of Time. That's all it was.
Yeah.
All this build up. It's like when they're designing the Fable games, they forget plot points. Like they say these things like these characters are supposed to be evil, but we never. It's more of a telling, not showing, which is not that good. Show me the character being evil,
right.
Which they figured out a little bit better in the second one. By the beginning, the guy shooting you, but then the ending of it sucked. No real boss battle. You go through a dream world for music, and that's it. And
the third one turned into a giant politics engine.
Hold on, I'll get to the third one just a second.
Oh, you're not done.
The choices in the second one were so stupid. You either get to resurrect your family of NPCs that you do not care about. You've probably killed them several times or gotten divorced. The only part of that you cared about was your dog. But how many bullets had you soaked up until that point of the game?
Yeah.
Your dog makes a stupid sacrifice. $1 million gold, which you probably already have already.
Right.
Or you resurrect everybody that he killed. Which were, again, a bunch of nameless NPCs that you don't care about.
Yeah.
So that aside for 2, which was stupid, somehow they took the stupid ideas and made them worse in the third one. Where, halfway through, it's like, okay, well, now you're king. Now you got to decide on these permanent changes as opposed to telling the people, hey, we have an invading force. We've got to get our army ready. I need to do these things temporarily to get the money in, and then we can save the day.
I don't know if it was just...
He wanted some kind of moral choice system, and he half-assed it.
Did that come out on the 360?
He lied to everybody, so that's why I don't feel any sympathy about this studio closing.
That was on the 360, right? Fable 3?
Yes.
That was it looked so shitty, too. It was terrible. The graphics were like...
I liked its art
they were
style
supposed to be
1 and 2.
They were supposed to be all high definition and stuff, and it was just all fuzzy.
Oh, and it was supposed to be a massive open world game, you know? And it was... Mario 64 was more open world than that was.
They still didn't figure out...
They literally had you follow a line.
they still didn't figure out how to close the jet sale loop, because that worked from number 1 all the way up to number 3, where you'd buy from one vendor and go sell to the other, and then buy back and sell back, and it was ridiculous.
Just buy the places and rake up their prices, but then you fart a lot and people love you again.
Yeah.
So it's. Other games have done moral choice systems far better than that one.
This story is sad because people lost their jobs if they didn't.
Here's the thing. Placement. That's why I said
if they can't
I feel less guilty about being glad, because I'm tired of getting lied to and losing money, was that they said they were trying to relocate everybody and trying to provide everybody jobs.
Right.
So at the very least, there's that. But the one person I would hope that would not feel bad if Peter Molyneux had lost his job. I wouldn't feel bad about that, because there's this whole cycle with him where he talked so much about the game, and then the game would come out, and 3 months later he'd be like, "Yeah, that game sucks, but my next one's going to be good." And then he would start it all over again. He'd hype it up where you could do anything. Then the game would come out, and then he'd say, "Oh yeah, that one sucked too. The first two, I just couldn't fulfill my vision, but the next one, I'm going to totally get my vision 100%."
Did you read this last quote or no?
We have nothing but heartfelt thanks to the team at Lionhead Studios for their significant contributions to the Xbox and the games industry, showing people that the consumers are idiots and that they will constantly believe you despite all the lies.
Yes, that was directly quoted. No,
that was directly quoted from Regis Fils-Aimé, the Microsoft president of the PlayStation 3.
What?
What? I don't know.
Reggie
I was mixing everything together.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yeah, it sucks because people are losing their jobs, like I said. But
hopefully everybody gets put to another team that Microsoft owns, and are able to continue providing for their family and themselves.
Right.
Or that they get hired quickly. I'm sad that you guys lost your jobs, but I'm glad that this era of gaming is over with, because you guys lied to us way too much. Make a new black and white and make the controls really good, and we'll call it square.
Really good controls were already made. They're called a keyboard and mouse.
I tried it and it sucked.
You were just playing on a shitty system. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry that I don't have $10,000 for a mouse that
back then those weren't that demanding.
I'm sorry that I don't missing some of my key buttons on my laptop now. There are 6 of them.
Well, stop pounding on the keyboard because you didn't have enough time to get back to the house at the end of the day on Stardew.
No! Oh, don't even get me started on that. We'll have to talk off camera. Man, yeah. I was right there at my door.
I knew it. All right, well, that's all we've got for you this week. You won't have to. I'll spare you his whining and complaining about dying in front of the door. Thanks for listening, and please leave us feedback on our episodes on Google Play Music app, which is now available for podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, and anywhere else you can get our podcast from. And please like, share, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, where we are currently talking to you.
Yeah, I actually got that notification the other day. I was like, oh, my podcast is on there. I was like, oh, wait, what are they talking about? So that was really cool. You can contact us at ECG_podcast on Twitter, at our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/ECGpodcast, or our email address at ecgpodcast@gmail.com. Also visit us at our webpage, www.stasisgeek.com. Or like Jeremy said, post a comment and we will probably read it, maybe.
Definitely.
As long as it's not mean. Don't use the mean words. I get on too many arguments on YouTube's comments already.
All right, we will be back next week, and don't forget, next Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. Get out to your closest comic book shop and get some free comics.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some good ones. We'll talk about those next week, though. Until then, everybody, stay geeky.
We gotta find a new comic book shop.